This is Jorge Economics, and in this video, we're going to look at how, as the government gets bigger, the living standards of the citizens get smaller. So, how does the government get bigger? Well, the government can only get bigger by taking more resources from the Australian people. That's it. They don't have any resources themselves. The government can only steal resources. So because the citizens and the government share the same pool of resources, if the government have more resources, the citizens have less. Now, what does that mean? Well, the more resources you have, the more production you have, right? Because resources are inputs to production. Think of resources as labor, as land, as capital equipment, as innovation and creativity. So the more resources you have, the more production you have. The more production you have, the more wealth and income you have, right? Because if you're producing more stuff, you can sell more stuff. Now, the more wealth and income you have, the higher your living standards are, because you can now buy more stuff to improve your well-being, right? So the picture's becoming clear now. As the government takes more resources from the citizens, so the citizens have less resources, the citizens have less production because there's less resources to produce things. If the citizens have less production, there's less wealth and income because they're not producing as much stuff, so they can't sell as much stuff. So by having less resources, the citizens have less production and less wealth and income. If the citizens have less wealth and income, they have lower living standards, right? Because they have less money to buy things to improve their well-being. So as the government takes more resources from the citizens, they're getting more production, the government's having more production, the government's therefore having more wealth and income, and therefore the government is having higher living standards. So this lies, in essence, to the debate of socialism versus capitalism. Socialism is where the government is very, very big and has a lot of resources, which means the citizens must have less resources. So in a socialist economy, in a big government economy, like what we have in most of the advanced world today, the government has most of the resources, the government has most of the production, the government has most of the wealth and income, and thus the government has most of the living standards. They have the best living standards. In a capitalist economy, the government doesn't take many resources. So the government has less resources, the citizens have more resources. So the citizens have more production because they have more resources to produce stuff. The citizens have more production, more wealth and income because they can sell more stuff, and they have higher living standards because they have more money to buy things they want. So this is a simple explanation at how the government, when they get bigger, it must necessarily reduce the living standards of their citizens because they're taking more resources away from their citizens. So their citizens have less stuff to produce. They can't produce as much stuff, which means they have less income, which means they have lower living standards. So this video was a quick explanation at how big government means lower living standards for the citizens. Small government means higher living standards for the citizens. Thank you.